Pro-lifers are also making a mark in the new Trump administration. Secretary of State Marco Rubio was the first of President Trump's cabinet appointees to be approved by Congress. The former Florida senator is also one of several Catholics set for prominent roles within the new administration, as is Vice President JD Vance, shown here, swearing in Rubio earlier this week. Prior to Rubio's confirmation, we spoke with an expert on the topic of Catholics in public policy. And for more, we turn now to Richard Wood, president of the Institute for Advanced Catholic Studies at the University of Southern California. Richard, great to be with you today. Jumping right in right here, President-elect Trump has selected several Catholics as nominees for his cabinet, including Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, Elise Stefanik as Ambassador to the United Nations, and John Ratcliffe to head the CIA. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Is it unprecedented to have so many Catholics in a presidential cabinet like this?
You know, it's certainly noteworthy, Tracy, but it's not unprecedented. President Biden has had about a third of his cabinet picks have been Catholic, and there's a long history of Catholics serving in prominent roles in the cabinet, housing and urban development, health and human services in particular. What's striking here is how prominent some of those roles are, and let's mention Vice President JD Vance is a Catholic convert as well. So not unprecedented, but important.
Looking back at the last Trump presidency and this new administration, any possible differences, do you think, between the two?
You know, I think there will be some differences. Certainly, incoming President Trump has shifted his stance on abortion policy. I think the consistency across both administrations around immigration policy, I think those may create some tension with the Catholic world. But there's some other areas. Vice President Vance, Marco Rubio have talked a lot about the Republican Party and the incoming Trump administration reaching out, really trying to create economic policy that serves working class Americans, middle class Americans. Is that going to be the new administration, or is it going to more emphasize tax cuts to the wealthy? The former would be very much in keeping with Catholic teaching. The latter would not be. But that remains to be seen.
Yeah, and in this 2024 election, President-elect Trump did really well with Catholic voters. Is there an expectation that that success that he had at the ballot box will translate into policy? Talk a little bit more about that, if you will.
Yeah. I think that's hard to foresee, Tracy. I think the thing to look for might be the tone and tenor of the Trump administration and how it weighs in on public policy. You know, Catholic teaching says something about particular issues, but it also talks about a kind of productive, constructive tone of public life. And do some of these new Catholic leaders in the administration help balance out the more combative, more polarizing tone with a more constructive way of engaging in public dialogue that really builds on the best of the Catholic tradition? I think it's good. That's a thing for Catholics to look at.
Richard, thank you so much for weighing in and for your insights. We appreciate it. Richard Wood, president of the Institute for Advanced Catholic Studies at the University of Southern California. Thank you so much, sir.
Great. Thank you much. And let's all keep a prayer for the future of the country. Thank you. Bye now.